Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Saturday, April 13th is the date. 4 p.m. is the time. It's the 3rd annual Grenada Invitational. World-class athletes, world-class performances, and a world-class facility. Come see Olympians Andre DeGrasse, Sheldon Fraser Price, Braylon Toplin, Asafa Powell, Lyndon Victor, and the cast of superstars at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Tickets are now on sale at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Maxis Bar, and Venus. Saturday, April 13th. Grenada Invitational. See you there.
McIntyre, top of the screen in the colors of Grenada with a bit of a lead.
Eastern Zone wins inaugural secondary school games. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, April 5th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Eastern Zone are the winners of the inaugural National Secondary School Games, which saw new records being established at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Friday. The Eastern Zone also captured the final 2 races, the girls and boys 4x400 meter relays open. We have a recap from reporter Sherry Ann Noel, who spent the day interviewing many of the athletes.
There were 4 zones, 60 events, and at the end we had a winner. The inaugural winner of the 2019 National Secondary School Games is the athletes that form the Eastern Zone, the schools of St. David's Catholic Secondary, St. Joseph's Convent, St. Andrew, the Grenville Secondary School, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School, and Grenada Christian Academy. Now, we had a number of splendid performances both on the track and on the field. We had all who won actually had new records. We had students who said many thanks to the government for giving them the opportunity, as it was their last time to perform on the tracks in their schools, to represent their schools. We had the individual champs in the under 15. We had Shanti Augustine from the Southern Zone. She had 12 points. We also had in the under 15 boys, we had Tejan Peter King, also of the Southern Zone, with 18 points. Under 17 girls went to Kishana Phillip of Southern Zone, and the under 17 boys, Jadon Tika of the Northern Zone. The under 21 girl went to Johnny Thomas of the Eastern Zone with 24 points. The under 21 boy was Jared Sylvester with 14 points. And the overall champs for the girls was Johnny Thomas and Tejan Peter King for the boys. It was indeed a day of keen rivalry. The athletes competed both on the field and the tracks, and they are looking forward to see if their records will be broken when there is a National Secondary School Games in 2020. Hats off to the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports, who collaborated to ensure that the students got the opportunity to exhibit their talents here on the tracks.
During the official opening ceremony, Education Minister, the Honorable Emmeline Pear, said the inaugural event bears testimony of government's commitment to the development of the nation's athletes. Some of the athletes who competed before an impressive crowd thanked the government for the opportunity that the Games provided.
We believe as a government that every child deserves every possible opportunity to grow, every possible opportunity to succeed. And that is the only reason that we took that very bold decision to hold these games. We all believe in the all-round development of children. We believe in the opportunity for children to learn, for students to learn, and that is exactly why we are here today. Because we believe that the opportunities that they receive and those who received in the past, we can speak today about those who have excelled in terms of their recognition internationally and how they were responsible and how they were able to be good ambassadors promoting our country regionally and internationally. But we can also speak today about those in the past who never thought that they would ever have an opportunity to further their education. And it was sports in many cases that gave so many persons, including many of our physical education teachers, many of our coaches, that opportunity today to have a career that they are proud of, that they are passionate about. And so we don't take for granted, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities that we can provide to our students.
Organizers say this will not be a one-off meet and they're hoping to do it again next year. As mentioned, athletes from the Eastern Zone won the final 2 races, the girls and boys 4x400 meter open. Let's look back at the action.
It's the penultimate event. They're on the mark.
And they're off. It's a smooth, fast start there from the athletes. All getting off to a good start, but it's the Eastern Zone stamping the early dominance on this event, opening up a sizable lead at the moment, just about 15 meters, and it continues to grow. Eastern Zone there out front, followed by the Southern Zone as they head down the backstretch. The Northern Zone and the Western Zone are in the mix, but with just about 220 meters to go in the first lap, it is the Eastern Zone. They continue to dominate this event, and they are setting their intentions clear that yes, they have won the championship, but they want to do so in style by winning the 4x400 meters girls. Here comes Jida Harry from the Southern Zone, looking to close the gap on the first leg. She is doing so successfully, but Eastern Zone, the athlete from the Eastern Zone, she will hand over first, followed by the athlete from the Southern Zone.
The Eastern Zone off to a great start here, as they have maybe a 20-meter lead over the Southern Zone, and then we have the Northern Zone and Western Zone. But there goes the Eastern Zone. It's going to be a tremendous effort here by the Southern Zone to close that gap on the Eastern Zone. And I'm sure Janaya Thomas is somewhere in the mix here to anchor it home for the Eastern Zone. It's going to be difficult here for the Southern Zone. I make it about 80 meters is the lead that the Eastern Zone is enjoying over the Southern Zone. What a lead, what a performance here already on the second leg of the penultimate event, the 4x400 meters open for girls. The Eastern Zone, as we see an interesting development for second position now, as we see the athlete out of the Northern Zone was catching up on the athlete from the Southern Zone, but she's outwinded now. The Southern Zone making a run back, but it's going to be difficult for her to catch up with the athlete from the Eastern Zone. The Eastern Zone is going to hand over first, and there they go. And
it's Eastern Zone continuing to maintain the lead of just about 60 meters or so. The second handover about to be completed. Northern Zone, Western Zone, but out front is the Eastern Zone, just about 60 meters as she heads down the back straight on the third lap. The Eastern Zone continues to lead in the final female event here at the National Secondary School Games for 2019. It is the Eastern Zone maintaining that lead. It continues to grow, just about 60 or so meters to go, with 150 meters left before the third and final baton exchange. The Eastern Zone continues to extend and open out the lead. Strong performances there from the athlete from the Eastern Zone, and she is motoring down the home straight to hand over the baton for the third time as they seek gold in the final female event.
Well, that's the final handover, and the Eastern Zone with a very, very commanding lead. It looks here like Janaya Thomas. Is it Janaya Thomas? But whoever it is, it's going to be tough to catch up with them. The Eastern Zone with a commanding lead here in the final event for the girls. She can actually coast home from here on. It's a jog in the park for her. She's not challenged by any stretch. What a team effort by the Eastern Zone. A good way for the girls to close the curtain on the inaugural secondary school games. That's the final event for the girls. And the Eastern Zone has a commanding lead here. There's no need for she to exert to the fullest extent, but I'm sure she'd want to return a good time for her team, and she would give it all towards the finish line. As she enters into the home straight and heading towards the finish line, the Eastern Zone it is. The Eastern Zone looking good. The race is actually for second and third, as there's an interesting development there. But the Eastern Zone wins it now. Let's see what's happening for second and third, as it's going to be a fight between the Southern Zone and the Northern Zone. But the Southern Zone is in second. The Southern Zone will pick up the silver medal, and the Northern Zone will pick up the bronze. The Western Zone will have to settle for the fourth position.
And it's the start of the event. Very good start there. The athlete from the Northern Zone, he's out quickly. So too is the athlete from the Eastern Zone, who actually settles now in front of the pack, followed by the athlete from Southern Zone and Northern Zone in the back, a bit boxed out by the two athletes in front of him. But it's the Eastern Zone, Southern Zone, Western Zone. The athlete from the Northern Zone falling back a bit, but it continues to be a dominant performance from the athletes from the eastern side of the island. They have the early lead with just about 150 meters left in the first exchange, and they lead by just about 20 or so meters. Eastern Zone, Southern Zone, Western Zone and the Northern Zone, but it is continuing to be a blue afternoon, a royal blue afternoon here at the National Stadium. They have opened up a lead of just about 30 meters or so over Northern Zone. The first exchange, Northern Eastern Zone.
The Eastern Zone is off in a flash, the first handover, and they're trailed by the Northern Zone. The Southern Zone is actually in fourth position at the moment. Let's see what's going to happen here. The Northern Zone looking very comfortable. Sorry, the Eastern Zone looking very comfortable going down the back straight. The Eastern Zone it is. And for the sake of the fans, we're hoping that it can be a much closer encounter. Maybe 80 meters lead here, but look at the second, third, and fourth. They bunch closely together here. The Southern Zone is making a comeback, but look at the lead that has been established by the Eastern Zone. It's going to be difficult to catch them, but look at the Southern Zone, the Western Zone. That looks like Neil Peters there for the Western Zone, but the Eastern Zone with a commanding lead here as they make the second and over. The Eastern Zone in the lead.
The Eastern Zone, the lead about 60 meters or so, but the excitement is really for second and third and fourth in this event. The second is second and over second, the Northern Zone. The Western Zone, the Northern Zone in the mix, also to the Southern Zone. But out front, continuing their dominant performances in the 4x400 meters. The boys, they continue to extend their lead. The Eastern Zone boys, they are leading with just about 600 meters left in the event. A lead of just about 50 meters or so. Continues to hold on. Here comes the athletes from the Northern Zone. Look at the athlete from the Northern Zone, turns on the afterburners, looking to close down the gap. It is getting exciting. It is certainly getting exciting. And the lead almost evaporates. The athlete from the Northern Zone, he is closing the gap, clawing away. He's just about passes him and hands over first. The Northern Zone, they are in the lead heading over to the final lap.
What a run by Deonia Williams for the Northern Zone. The Northern Zone has taken over the lead, but the Eastern Zone is not going to give up just like that. It's going to be a battle for the finals. Is this another Junior Charles moment? It was right around this point when he went past Jeffrey. Is the athlete from the Northern Zone going to catch up with him? The Eastern Zone has now moved into the lead, trailed by the Northern Zone. And then there is the Western Zone. What is going to happen? Is there any fight left in the tank here? Is there a fight by the Northern Zone? The Eastern Zone back in the lead and powering away. He looks good going into the home straight. Is he going to catch him? A fight back here by the Northern Zone. East Zone, Northern Zone, East Zone, Northern Zone. Who is it going to be? Looks like the Eastern Zone. What a run back here. But we cannot discredit the run by Deonia Williams on the third leg for the Northern Zone. What a fit and finish to this game.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
big business don't participate.
Continuing the news, the impact of climate change on the economic, infrastructural and sustainable development of Grenada was the focus of the 150th meeting of the Sustainable Development Council on Friday. The meeting, which was held at the Public Workers Union Conference Room, focused on sustainable development and climate change, infrastructure and energy, health and disaster management. The Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister for Infrastructure Development, Public Utilities, Energy, Transport and Implementation, whose focus was on sustainable development and infrastructure and energy, said development must be looked at in a different light as a result of climate change. He used the example of construction, saying that the negative impact of climate change must be taken into consideration.
The infrastructure component of sustainable development is therefore critical because it falls to two things. Infrastructure. The most important one may be the soft one, the education, and the people themselves getting involved and knowledgeable. But the infrastructural component always follow. Whether it's a policy, whether it's a law, we must build. And we in the Ministry of Infrastructure, we are preparing ourselves for this. We are not there yet, but we are getting there. And implementation is a significant component of our ministry. So when we're implementing now, we do not have to say, well, is this school being built on time and within cost? We have to go with a fine-tuned code and look at what is there. Where are the mitigation efforts within this building?
Health Minister, the Honorable Nicholas Steele, who addressed the subject of sustainable development and health, says we must take seriously the effects of climate change on the sector.
We have seen Zika and chikungunya come through, and dengue, the warning for this year. Not a new strain, but a previously non-existing or a strain of dengue that we haven't seen for decades in this region. Question was asked about rat infestation as well. What is happening is that when I was growing up, I knew that there was a definite rainy season and dry season. And you could literally mark that on Corpus Christi, it would be raining, or on April, it will be raining by the middle of April or so. These periods are extending. The hurricane season is extending, and as such, what we have happening is our rainy season is coinciding with our tourism season, when people travel. And as such, mosquito-borne diseases are spreading because it's coinciding, not just here, but in southern Europe, Mediterranean area, so it's crossing from Africa over. So we have to build and strengthen health resources.
The other presenter was Senator Simon Steele, Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment, Forestry, Fisheries, Disaster Management and Information. He says climate change undermines our ability to achieve sustainable development and touches every aspect of our economic development.
When we look at it within the broad areas, economically, and some of the action that government has taken to build greater resilience, it's not just from a physical perspective. Resilience speaks to economic resilience. It speaks to social resilience. It speaks to environmental resilience. So we have to look at this thing holistically. And some of the actions that government has taken, whether it is through the homegrown structural adjustment.
Good morning to Grenada, Carriacou and the Petit Martinique. Once again, it's time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And this is Hard Talk. We are live on 97.5 CitysoundFM.
89.5 CRFM.
92.9 Sister Ryle FM.
And 94.9 WeiVybz Radio in Brooklyn. Good morning to everyone.
Yes, indeed. And we do hope that you've had a wonderful weekend, a restful weekend for those of you that got to take some rest over the weekend. Yes. And in whatever you did it and enjoyed it over the weekend. Yeah, and that was beneficial to you, your family, your business, and everybody, the country and a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Devon, how was your weekend though?
Well, not too bad. The Lord gave me health and strength throughout the entire weekend. Rise me again this morning, and but it was good coming off of not being at the games but viewing the games. I mean, all the excitement, it just carried through the entire weekend. Exciting, you know, restful weekend.
In a little while. Just have to remind persons of this one. Yeah, Lisa Marie, what going on, girl? You on Starlight Production? Those girls and them up in Carriacou.
Starlight, the big four.
Yeah, the brand new business venture where they're doing the scented candles. Yeah, so folks, you can check on Lisa Marie up there at CitysoundFM. You can also find Shanika. That's Shanika Matterson, Kerry George, and Katanga Modest. I like that name, Katanga. Yeah, Katanga Modest. Yeah. So you can find them, the Melanin Goddesses, and get your scented candles. They have them in jasmine, peppermint, lavender, tea, rosemary, and citronella. Yes, so yeah, you can light up your lives and your home one scent at a time.
Yeah.
So go on and check the ladies at Starlight Production out there in the Sister Isles of Carriacou. They're also supplying to Grenada as well. Yeah, you could come down on the Osprey now. Yeah. So you can get it. You can get it if you really want it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So make sure and give the ladies a call.
Yeah. And quantity is not a problem. Quality and quantity. So just order. Give the ladies a call.
Lisa Marie, afraid to give your number on air for people to call you. You know, so let her give me a number.
Send a number for us. Yes.
Yeah, afraid to get a number on air. Yeah.
Yes, Sonia.
Me and nobody harassing you, understand? Yeah, nobody harassing. Look, that's some people years they know of Lisa Marie and the way your number, you know. Yeah, but I ain't getting them, so they feel it. So let it call Sister Isle and get you.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Yes, Sonia. What show this weekend? Had fun, man. Get on.
Yeah. Hey, good morning to you, Dali, and we hope that everything is going all well and okay with you.
Dali and the crew.
Yeah. Hey. It's April, and remember we have some taxes that are due now, eh? Yeah, folks, remember you have to handle your scene, yeah, because if you handle your scene, then how the country go run.
Yeah.
You have to handle your scene. Yes, so you have the pay as you earn, that is due and payable. Withholding tax, that is due and payable as of today. So those of you that have to pay as you earn, that tax, and the withholding tax, those are due today. The various entities that have to pay the gaming tax, they are due and payable on Wednesday, that's the 10th. And on April the 30th, personal income tax and corporate income tax installments are due and payable. Also, corporation income tax returns for the fiscal year ending on the 30th of January 2019. And the annual stamp tax installments are also due and payable. Persons are encouraged to file and pay all taxes on time to avoid penalties and interest. If you don't pay on time, you get your penalties and interest. Payments can be made at the Ministry of Finance, Inland Revenue Cash Office, and any district revenue office, or via WeTransfer for taxpayers in the diaspora. Wire transfer? I was saying WeTransfer. WeTransfer is for another type of thing. Yeah. Or via wire transfer for taxpayers in the diaspora. For further information, please contact Mrs. Karine Maureen Alexander. She is the PRO at the IRD, and you can find her on 435-6945. That's 6945-435 or 6946. Or you can go to their website, www.ird.gd. All right, so if you want to pay, even land tax was due and payable last month.
Yeah, last month at the end of last month.
But I think if you paid early, you get a discount, innit? Yeah, if you pay a land tax, your property tax early, we don't say land tax, property tax, land tax, same thing. Yeah?
And also to
you get a little discount if you pay early. I think that you could still pay now and get a discount.
You still because the person in the offices and so they ask you to come in and you could negotiate with them. You might be owing and you may have penalties and so you could renegotiate payments and so on, make it much comfortable for you.
Because
so go visit them. Yeah.
Sometimes, Devon, and that's a very important point you raise, sometimes you have people who they've been owing for a number of years. They might have the money to pay for, let's say they owe for 5 years, but they have enough money to pay for 2.
Yep.
And they decide that they're not going in and pay because they feel no government wouldn't accept the payment for the 2.
Yeah, they go want everything.
They go want everything. But you could go in and speak to them.
Yeah, speak to them.
Is man that they no beast?
Yeah.
Is man and woman that they no beast?
There are some wonderful officers there who are willing to sit down with you, explain everything, and accommodate you. We all Grenadians, you know.
At the end of the day, you don't want to, the government don't want to take your land.
No, and they don't do that. Yeah, they want you to pay and everything. And it's better they get a portion now and later than they don't get nothing at all.
Or they get a little and satisfied.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you don't want something happen to you and we'll learn how to share and all kind of thing. Your children left to pay this and all kind of thing. So some of you that are listening right now, you may be in a situation where you could pay part, but you can't pay the whole thing. Don't decide that you're not going in and pay anything because you can't pay the whole thing. Go in and have a conversation with them.
Exactly.
Go in and speak to the people. Have a conversation. And that goes with most of the other taxes and so too. Have a conversation, negotiate. Don't just ignore and I ain't going in and pay. Have a chat.
And that's important.
Yeah. So folks, the phone number 4407377. You know it's Monday, so we just take the calls early. Yeah.
And 347-329-3101.
Yes. So the Southern, nearly said the Southern Games. The National Secondary School Games. Devon, I really didn't get a chance to listen certain people this morning. What they had to say.
Well, you know,
technical. You get a chance to listen to them this morning. What they had to say.
Interestingly, a
lot of people get a dose of shut up Friday.
Even this morning, a dose of shut up too. Even you're barely hearing anything.
Boy, I hear that they well planned, boy. They say, oh gosh, they're coming out swinging. Yes, you know that the games end. You know that swear was intercalled by the time the games ended. Because the kind of momentum and the electricity, as they say, the energy that was there in the stadium, man. Yeah, and to see those young people that went, well, everyone that went thoroughly enjoy themselves. Some of the teachers and all who say that they walking up until 3:30. They stay until the end though. It's not that they was participating, but they like the thing. They like the thing. So I'm looking forward to 2020 because you know, as with everything, when you start off, you ain't starting off perfect, you know. Nobody does start off perfect. God himself created mankind and he didn't start off perfect because the first two he make, they break his rules. So if God the Almighty, and it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, if you're Jewish, or if you're a Christian, you believe in the same God. Let me say that again. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, or whether you're a Jew, all three believe in the same God. They just believe in different prophets. But all three believe in the same God. All three believe in the creation.
Very important.
All three believe in Adam and Eve and the creation. All three. You didn't know Muslims believe in that? Yes, they do.
They do.
They believe in Jesus Christ too. Yes, they do. They call him Isa. Muslims believe in Jesus Christ. They just believe that after Christ, Muhammad come. So it's just like Jews, they go up to a stage just before Christ, and then Christians believe everything the Jews believe, and then Christ, and they cut it off there. And then the Muslims believe everything the Jews believe, everything the Christians believe, and then they add more on it.
Like I always say,
that's religion in a nutshell.
Because, for example, we all know, right, the Creator. We all heading for the same place, you know, but we just take different directions, and we have to be able to respect each other as we move along that journey. You know, so hey, you know, all praises to all the different religions, wherever you are, whatever, how you worship, whatever you do. Hey, we all worship the Creator.
Yes, indeed. So why do I keep saying the Southern Games? You see that part of the Trinidadian thing that coming back there in between. They used to have a games called the Southern Games. So the National Secondary School Games, they were extremely, massively successful. As much as some people say, don't send your children, the young people came out. As much as some people say, don't go, you had many people came to view the games. And you also, within the audience that were viewing, had scouts for some of the universities in the United States. One name that keep coming up, Neil Peters, boy. Neil Peters. This guy reminds me of Kirani. he have it, boy.
Oh, man.
Neil Peters, look out for that. Look out for that
you
young
could
man.
see he's just a natural. Yeah, and he trains a lot too. You can see, he takes it serious. Man, I've seen,
Look out for that chap in the future, man.
As in intercall, the last relay, that 4x4 relay, I mean, my athlete of that whole 4x4 is the athlete from the Northern Zone, man, in the third leg, 4x4. Oh, this guy was amazing. He reminded me of the young guy from SAS. I think it was Charles.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, in that relay, that guy, he was awesome, man. But Sheldon, all in all, when I look at our young people, their performance, the amount of, energy they put out in participating in the sports on Friday, man. Oh, athletics won.
Yeah.
Athletics won.
And the thing is this, it's nothing about politics as in NNP win something or NNP did something. It's in that the young people got an opportunity to perform. Carriacou came down. Carriacou came down. Carriacou tried. But you see, there was a miscalculation on my part. Now, one, when it comes to Carriacou combined going up against SAS is one thing.
Yeah.
Carriacou combined going up against McDonald College is one thing.
Another thing.
Carriacou combined going up against GBSS or Anglican High School is one thing. Carriacou combined going up against GBSS, Anglican High School, Presentation Brothers College, St. Joseph's Convent, St. George, J.W. Fletcher Memorial, and Boca and Wesley College is a totally, and Wester Hall Secondary is a totally different something. It's not the same. And Carriacou was still able to hold their own. They have nothing to be ashamed of.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Carriacou was still able to hold their own, even in that situation. Where you not only had Carriacou combined, but you had South combined.
Yep.
You had East combined. You had West combined. And Carriacou still were able to hold their own. They were still able to hold their own in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we said, it was the first one. You don't expect it to be perfect because nothing in the world is perfect.
And it wouldn't be the last.
Yeah. It definitely will not be the last.
Yeah.
Would be interesting next year to see if the Principals Association does attempt to do the intercall games. Yeah. One, we know that the source of funding for the intercall games may not be existing by that point in time. Scotiabank has transitioned into, well, is in the process of transitioning into a new entity under new ownership and so. And they have been the key funders, the financiers of the intercall games over the years. We don't know what the situation might be union-wise by that point in time. We hope that it is we return to our normal dormant state of nice, peaceful union activities here in Grenada as we have had for about 5 years. Yeah, it's only within the last few months we start up with this thing again, but for 5 years we basically had it dormant.
Yep.
Yeah, a little threat here and there. If we don't get the payment that the NDC promised us in certain time, we go strike and things. We get a little talk, but I mean, unions are reasonable still. So at the end of the day,
accommodating.
Yeah, so we hope that we return to that state of dormancy in relation to the industrial climate here in Grenada.
I think
very
we will.
soon. Yeah,
I think we will. I mean, all heads, coming together and ensuring.
Nobody want to see the next school term open with this sort of negativity surrounding the activities and all of that. I don't think anybody wants the next school term to get there. Yeah, I've posted something into the chat for those of you on Facebook. I've posted something into the chat there that I think is going to be very helpful to a lot of you. It's basically free lessons in relation to CXC mathematics that your child could do online. I've posted a site where they can go and they could get free past papers. And not only the past papers, but they get the answers as well. Okay. So they can do the past papers and then they can cross-check to find out if they've got the proper thing. And other tutorials for students who are writing CXC math. So I've posted that to the Facebook Live. So folks, get your friends to go and check the Facebook Live and check the chat there. And you'll be able to see it there. I've posted it to my personal Facebook page as well. I believe in helping as much as we can help. Yes, so I've posted it to my personal Facebook page as well. So those of you that desire to do so can check as well. But back to the games. Many individuals have been commenting as well, Devon, that they found it kind of easier. They found it kind of nicer to be supporting a zone.
Yeah, it makes it...
And wait, before we go any further, I think we say congratulations to the Eastern Zone.
No, we didn't say no congratulations as yet.
Devon, you get one boss.
You understand? I mean...
She waiting.
Well, and trust me, you know, she listening.
She waiting.
We want to say congratulations to the Eastern Zone, the first winner of the inaugural secondary school games. Right? It was, I mean... an amazing win. The records were set and everything like that, and the East definitely came out and showed what they had. The powerhouse of the combination of St. Joseph Convent, Grenville, SAS, St. David Secondary,
St. David Secondary, SAS,
GSS, and the Christian Academy.
Grenada Christian Academy, St. Rose.
And St. Rose?
St. Rose, not St. Rose, they call it Montrose.
Montrose.
Montrose, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a combination of all these schools coming together to form the Eastern Zone, and they won. We proud. Congratulations. You know, congratulations to all of you. And to the athletes, man, you did your best. Yeah. You give it all.
Therefore, we must congratulate all of the schools, their coaches, their trainers, and the students, the parents who lent their support to them, and to the bigger, better network who want to vex. Digicel, the bigger. Morning, Mr. Kirk, Sita Hal, good morning. Yeah. The bigger, better network for ensuring that they outfitted all of the. Afterwards, when I hear after Digicel outfits reach in Grenada, and everybody start to see the Digicel on the back of the shirt and thing, I hear other companies start to complain now. They say, well, next year they want a zone for themselves. If Digicel take a zone, they go take a zone, and somebody else take a zone and zone it out.
That would be real nice.
They want it again where everybody just end up with one company
on the back. One company have the whole thing.
Yeah, they kind of want it, you know.
Yeah, because you have a number of entities that I'm sure would be willing to...
Because the thing will change up, you know. You might hear the so-and-so Southern Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might hear the so-so Southern Stars, whatever name. The so-and-so Southern Stars.
Northern Hurricanes.
Yeah, the so-and-so Northern Hurricanes. Yeah. The so-and-so Eastern whatever.
The Eastern Tigers or Lands, you know. Yeah. But I mean, oh man, the excitement, man, for the
Western
children.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Western Jaguars. You might see West Coast might come in black. The Western Jaguars. And you see they come with the thing on the back and all kind of thing. You never know.
Yeah, Western Jaguar is perfect, you know.
Yeah, because that's Kirani area.
That's Kirani area, and I mean the Jaguar stands out. And that young guy, man, from that Western Zone, man, oh, he was amazing.
Mark my words and mark that name down somewhere in your Bible or something. You take that name, write it on a piece of paper, leave it in your Bible.
He's a junior, right?
I think so, you know.
Yeah, because he ran faster than even all the seniors, all of them in the 400 meters. If I'm not mistaken,
when that boy he kick out.
Oh, he was, man. He was good.
Yeah, when he
definitely give a
when he kick out, he kick out. Yeah, that was, believe me, man. Yeah. It was wonderful to see so many young people there. And it's a sad thing that you had some parents who decided, for no other reason but politics, that they would deny their children the opportunity to be involved in this positive activity.
Oh yeah, I know of some families who made it clear.
Nothing but politics. Yeah. Nothing.
Just politics.
It had nothing to do with health. It had nothing to do with enjoyment. Nothing to be with them being young people and needing these sort of opportunities. Yeah. Nothing to be with being involved in a positive activity. And it absolutely had nothing to do with common sense. Because I could never understand why you would do that to your child, but that's between you and your child in the future.
You understand?
Yeah. So everybody who has participated in these games, they are now the record holders.
Yes.
Every single race, they're the finals.
Yeah.
The individuals in that are now the record holders. So, and all the races on the day were finals anyway.
Yeah, all the races were finals.
And that reminds me that what takes place at the Grenada Invitational. When you go to the Grenada Invitational, no heats and this kind of thing.
Finals.
Finals right through.
Yeah.
And this week, Grenada Invitationals, I hope you get your tickets already, you know, Yeah, I hope all you get all your ticket already. In fact, watch. Let me play that piece for them there.
Saturday, the Karate James Athletic Stadium becomes the center of the track and field universe with local stars, superstars, and rising stars as they compete in the third Grenada Invitational. Tickets are only $30, secondary stand, $40 bleachers, $60 main stands, $100, $125, and $150 finish line, and $350 VIP. Tickets at GoToFed.com, Maxis, Venus, Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Gatlin, Powell, DeGrasse, Fraser Price, Taplin, and more in exciting international track and field action.
This is what we've waited for.
World-class athletes.
The fastest men in the world.
World-class performances.
Watch the clock, it's goal!
Yeah, run with it. That Grenada Invitational is taking place this Saturday, right here on the Spice Isle of Grenada. The biggest athletics competition in the Southern Caribbean. Trinidad, with over 1 million people, does not have a invitational anywhere close to the level of what we have here in Grenada. Grenada is doing better than Barbados and all, better than Barbados. And these are the countries that have, they just count just the other day we started doing $1 billion budget and things. Only the first $2 billion budget. But anyway, but these countries have budgets in the billions and they spend so much on these
long
things.
Before us.
And they do not have the type of activities that Grenada is able to attract. One, because of our level 1 certified athletic stadium. That's one of the main reasons. The level 1, because these individuals will not go to run on a level 3 and a level 4. They ain't going and chance it there. That means they could injure themselves. So they will go to a level 1 certified stadium, which is our Carriacou James Athletic Stadium. So they come here. And you actually have some of the athletes right now, they upset, not those that come in, those that didn't get to come because they wanted to come, and it do have lanes for them to run in.
It's a pity, but you know what?
I can mention one. LaShawn Merritt wanted to come. Merritt, Merritt and Kirani are the back and forth in between. Merritt is not here this year because, like, he tried to come in a bit too late, so Merritt can't make it this year.
Well, this is lost.
Don't be surprised to still see him pop up. He might come and watch because he really want to come Grenada. He really wants to come to Grenada. So don't be surprised to see him just pop up and thing.
Oh, by the way, based on information we had received previously, Carriacou James supposed to be in the island today, the 8th.
Yeah, Carriacou's coming in this afternoon. Carriacou will be here. Ambassador James. He will be carrying out his ambassadorial duties at the Grenada Invitational. He'll be hosting a lot of the athletes that are coming in. They're coming to his country, his home. He's not competing during the games, so he will be carrying out ambassadorial role. So don't be surprised to see Carriacou passing in tongue with a Gatlin. Not the Gatlin gun, the Gatlin runner. Right, nice. Don't be surprised to see him pass in tongue with Gatlin and one or two other places.
And the grass.
The grass and all kind of things. He and the grass go and make a little lime in tongue or passing a school, and I think they may be passing through some of the schools and so. So it's going to be a wonderful one. It's going to be a wonderful one.
It will be. So go out, get your tickets, go out and support the Grenada Invitational.
Angelique is making a message here. She's saying, this is her take: let the games remain with the ministries because the kids are directly under them, not GUT and Principals Association. When people got something running for too long, they feel they own it. Hence, they try to blackmail with calling off the games. Let them have zonal games next year if they want to have sports, but they should not be allowed to use the students as normal, to which government is custodian for between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Not that I agree 100%. I believe, in my mind, I'm hoping that we can have an intercall games because it's a tradition here. You don't want to, we've had a year now that we don't have intercall. 2019, in the annals of intercall, you'll see 2019 as a year that there was no intercall. Let's hope that 2020 we can see intercall, but we also want to see, and we know we will be seeing, God's willing, inshallah, we will be seeing
secondary school games
in 2020, and are much bigger and better because it's going to be even more organized. It was organized this year, and it's going to be even more organized than it was, because remember in intercol you had it in the morning time, you had heats and all this kind of thing, and then you come down to the finals, and in some instances it burned out some of the students too. When you had to go into the heats and then you had to come back and go in, it burns them out.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a better thing now, where you have, like, they have that recovery time. So you have a clear week before is when you would have the last set, that they have the zonal spots, and then you progress to finals directly on the day. So you run that off in a certain space of time, and boom, that's it. The artists performed. I didn't see any trouble there. Didn't see any problems there. The artists performing.
No problems at all. No problems whatsoever.
Mr. Killer Hollis Map, you, as usual, at his best. You had Dash. You had Lil Von. Yes, so I understand. What was the problem there? I fail to understand.
Was there a problem? Who was talking?
To have a problem? I don't know.
Who was talking?
Yeah. Folks, the phone lines are open. 440-7377. Yeah. All of a sudden, certain people go on mute when it comes in relation to the secondary school game. All they go on mute, so.
Some of them call for rain for the whole day. But
the greatest thing?
But Jah is a good God, you know. He's a very good God. And what he did? He ensured that he gave them the wish, right? He sprinkled showers of blessings on all the children and those who participated in that sports. You understand? Give them strength.
They pray for rain. You know when the rain come? When the last thing done and they're announcing the winners, that is when the rain come. In other words, rain say, games done, go home.
Straight
so
home.
The rains had to fall, everybody had to jump bus and head home.
Head home.
Yeah.
Because I had to go out in the rain, and so quite in Grenville to ensure I meet my daughter. It was very important. A lot of parents came out on the side of the road, could see them waiting on their kids dropping from the bus. Understand? And that was good. Right? Our children showed responsibility, right, and everything like that. They showed us that they are mature, right, and we can depend on them, right, to do their best when need, come. So I'm here.
That's why we also had to say to some people, don't approach the throne of grace with any kind of evil intent.
At all.
Don't go and pray to God for wickedness. For your own selfish kind of thing. Don't go to God and pray for them kind of thing. The backlash you won't get, don't do that, Popo. Don't do that. Nah.
And hey, Sheldon, I really want to say again, all thanks to the premier organizers of this sport, the Ministry of Education, right, and Sports, right, and so the team who coordinated that entire event, and so from the preliminaries right up to the finals on Friday, kudos, thank you, everyone from the ministers come down to the volunteers, the police officers, everyone who took part in ensuring that the games was a successful one. We say thank you. Thank you on behalf of the nation's children. You put a smile on their face, on their faces on Friday.
Minister Emlyn Pear must be smiling.
Yeah.
She's been able to pull this off. Silence the critics once again. Emlyn Pear just fed up silence all you. I remember years ago, when it was decided that we will not have intercall in the cricket stadium, because the sandy base of the cricket stadium caused a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries.
And then the time
that was the 2013 or 2014 intercall games. The sandy nature of the field in the cricket stadium is not conducive to athletics, to running and that sort of thing. And there were a lot of injuries that intercall, and it was decided that the best thing to do was to relocate. At that time, you were reconstructing the athletic grounds, and it was decided that we'd relocate to
Tantine.
Not Tantine, but Progress Park for the intercall games. Initially, it was said that we would relocate to Tantine, but then considering Tantine and how the rains affect it and so from time to time, it was said no. Instead of Tantine, we'd go to Progress
Park. That was a goal.
And I remember as a junior in the ministry having to call. I had to call Godfrey. I had to call various programs and basically put forward the reasoning behind relocating to Progress Park. And every time we put forward a reasoning to why we should go to Progress Park, you had people saying, that can't work, that can't work, that can't work. Intercall cannot happen up there.
Yeah, without no reason, Yeah, without no reason to give.
Listen, the thing will work. You have the right size track and so on. You have everything. We're going to put in the various amenities and whatever is needed. Well, what about all them children and them from Tong and the West that had to come down? We say, but all the children from the country had to come down to Tong. So that is not a point.
For decades, for years, they've been doing that.
Well, since Intercall is Intercall, you had the schools, the so-called quote-unquote, and I don't like the term, but the country schools had to come down to town every year for Intercall. And so for 1 year, you want to say there's an issue, you can't leave town to go up for Intercall in St. Andrew. And I remember us having to argue that case over and over and over on the day, having to walk around to make sure everything was going okay and so on. And Intercall happened in Progress Park, and the same my partner Godfrey that was running him out at the point in time. He had to swallow what man even swallow his foot on he swallowed the toe first, then he take the next toe, then he easily insert the foot. He insert the foot, then he follow it with the whole leg. Yeah, because at the end of it, he had to say, many people said it wouldn't happen, but it has happened. Intercall has happened here at the Progress Park, and it has been successful. And the thing is,
GBSS ran away with it.
Yeah, that's the only problem we had. GBSS come and get SAS right in SAS backyard.
Right in SAS backyard.
That's the only problem right now.
Yeah, good morning, Sheldon.
We made it on that one up to now.
Good morning. Good morning, my friend. I want to say thanks to the Ministry of Sport, the Ministry of Education for making the secondary school game a success. Because when I passed down there in the evening and I saw the magnitude of students outside, I said, well, I wonder if it was the secondary school sports. So I want to say thanks to the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports for making that sports a success, and all these parents that came out to support these children. And Brother Sheldon, as a grader, I am proud of being a grader for the quality of athletes that we get in invitational game. But no other country in the Caribbean received this quality of athletes that we get in the country. I want to say thanks to the government for building that stadium, and because of the quality of stadium, you could get the quality of athletes to come and partake in the invitational game. So you see, a leader with a vision is seeing before and make things happen. And with the Minister of Education, she under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell, who solve problem, and his children continue to solve problem. So I want to say thanks to the Ministry of Sport and Education for making the secondary school sports a success. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, and
we had fun.
You know, the worst thing is that I think that, and let's be honest here, this is a political radio program. This is a program of the new National Party. Yes. We always tell you that. We are not trying to pull a thing over somebody. We're not trying to hoodwink anybody.
Nope.
This is a political radio program. This is a program of the new National Party.
Once you hear Sheldon and Devon, you know it's NNP program.
We ain't doing like some people that coming on a program and try to give the impression that they're so non-political and they're not involved in, and they don't have a side and all this kind of nonsense. We political and we're the new National Party.
Straight up, yep.
But it does not change the truth of what we're saying. And to see that how you had the National Secondary School Games, the first games, and you had the interim leader of the NDC coming on national radio and trying to encourage parents not to send their children to participate, encouraging people not to go and support the sports and so on, for nothing but purely political reasons.
That's only
nothing
reason.
But purely political reasons.
Only reason.
And you had him also with the last caretaker the NDC had for the town of St. George, I don't know what capacity to really put her in these days, because I don't know what capacity she holds.
A mouthpiece,
but Claude, well, the mouthpiece then.
The mouthpiece.
The what was called again? The needy and greedy lady?
The needy and greedy lady.
The needy and greedy lady.
Yeah.
Coming and telling people, don't send your children, and that sort of thing. I think some people need to learn when to separate the politics from the national interests.
Yeah.
They need to learn when to do that. They have to learn to separate the politics from the national interests.
But I keep saying, Sheldon, some of us, or some people, when you don't have any children, you don't have feelings for children, you know.
I ain't taking part in that.
It's you don't have that motherly or that fatherly love in you.
I ain't taking
you understand, to extend that thing to our children.
Let me take off my mic.
So,
I ain't saying nothing.
So there are persons, when I hear they open their mouth and trying to dictate to parents as to how to bring up the children and what the children must do and must not do. I mean, I'm surprised at you guys.
My mic is off. I take off.
You know, it's just amazing the kind of persons that you hear talking. Where are their responsibility when it comes to children? I'm asking that question.
Well, Devon saying that my mic off.
You know, and while I'm here too, I want to stick in that other point again. Some of you and some persons, and I know some of teachers also, they continue, and I always say, I make no apology for it, to reproach the children of this nation. I heard a particular woman this morning himself, perhaps she claimed to be a teacher, right? I'm sure any of us, any individual, if anybody extends some sort of courtesy, they help us, they give us money, they buy lunch for us and everything like that, we will not want them to go about telling other people that they did that for us. If you're doing something for someone, do it with the goodness of your heart. Feel free to do it with love, and so don't do it and then after, when something happens, you start reproaching that person and saying, oh, I just do this for you and I just do that. That is what is being done to the nation's children, and we need to stop it. We need, as grown people, to stop that attitude. How can you do our children that? Sooner or later, when some of us want to offer our children things, they will bluntly refuse. Okay, you know what they will say? Oh, look at they going on the radio and rolling us down and say, oh, they give us this and they give us that and all kind of things. Come on. We need to be more mature, right, and support our children. Leave the politics out of it.
My microphone's still off.
Right. You could turn it on now, you know.
You sure?
Yeah, you can.
I can turn on my mic now.
You can turn on the mic now.
Okay, nice. Sorry. Turn on my mic now, right?
Yes.
You sure? You sure you need to turn it off? You want to say something again?
No, not again. I just want to say good morning to all those who have just joined us on the live, wherever you are. Good morning to all of you. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, Devon. Good morning. Good morning to you, Sheldon.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
No, you see, that's why a couple years ago I've been saying by the airport. So, my God, I've been saying it is not good to name everything after one person. For instance, Kirani, because I saw a young lady with some speed. I wondering where this woman gets speed from. I mean, and the last relay for like 400 meters, I think, I was wondering if I was watching Formula One, because I've never seen so much speed, you know, and we have a lot of young athletes coming up. So we're only 133 square miles, you know, so we have a lot of talent, and that is a very good thing. So I'm looking forward to see these young persons in the very short future on the international stage, you know. The thing came out nice. I mean, it's the first one. We don't expect everything to be perfect, not even if it's the third one, you know. But I think what we saw Friday was a very good testament. In fact, and I want to say thanks to Minister Pierre and her team, who was able in that short space of time to put this thing together. And also thanks to Digicel, because Digicel sponsored the the uniform, which I think is very good also.
And we bigging them up.
And I also want to say to the government, thanks again for showing that they are not as the other party. In relation to, I saw Mr. Ali Gilgo is now an ambassador or something like that to that effect. And I know they would have to get recommendation or however the thing goes. But I want to say thanks to them. Thanks to the government for showing that they are not like other people, other political organizations who, because you're not with us, we can't help you. This is a government that sees Grenadians as Grenadians, and there is no separation. We only would separate in what we believe in, who we support. But Grenadians is Grenadians, and that's a good thing. Have a good day, you guys.
All right, my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm Ali Salambi, as we
yes.
some of us
Salambi,
yeah,
congratulations, you're excellent.
CARICOM ambassador. He presented his credentials recently then. So, yeah, so that's the thing. And to tell you the honest truth, he's always been a cool fellow with me. Even when he was in the Senate, representing the NDC, Minister of Culture and so on, it's one of the people within the NDC I've always had a good relationship with when he was in the NDC. And even now that he's not in the NDC, I still have a good relationship with him.
He's one of those
He's just a cool fella.
Yeah, he's
you
one of those
persons.
persons. You just have to relate with him.
But how you go
you can't. You meet him wherever, you have to relate. And then his profession too does not allow him to keep away from people. He's a lawyer. Yeah. You know, that's how he makes his money, interacting with people.
That don't know what they're doing,
exactly.
Yeah?
You see?
So, folks, 4407377
and 347-329-3101.
Yes, indeed. And let me just check the live. She saw Angelique is saying she saw an NDC supporter calling for Principals Association to sue government for running a similar games like Intercol. Well, wait. Who is that dummy? Angelique, where is he that? I want to see that. Listen, I want to expose that dummy.
Oh my God.
That to be a fake profile, because a person can't, and I have to check that profile to see who's so stupid. Seriously, because a person with, you understand, a person with common sense, a person with understanding, a person with patriotism,
a person with love for children
would never make such a suggestion. They would never make such a suggestion. You understand? I can't understand that.
But Sheldon, you know what is amazing?
The government, watch it getting thrown to a court before it even reached to the first case, because it is considered frivolous and vexatious.
Yes, very vexatious. Vexatious, so even more so.
I mean, and knowing Mr. Jeremiah and the principals and so, these are intelligent people.
Oh, definitely.
Then stupid to go and try that. You know, no, don't go and think that. You understand? Don't even bother.
Yes, Brian. Good morning to you. Oh, boy. But you see, they are having problem with the success of the secondary school sports that went on Friday. They are mad with themselves because the children proved to them that, look, we have a statement to make. Don't take away something from us just like that.
And they're only mad because they're viewing this thing from a political standpoint.
Exactly.
They're only mad because
they have no love. Standpoint. Yeah, most of them who preaching that, they have no love for our children.
A lot
of them just continue to reproach the children and the government and whatever, instead of accommodating and being part, all right, of something that will benefit the future of this country. The children are our future. We need to do whatever it takes, right, to ensure that the path is cleared for them. Right? We know we will find obstacles, you know, but when you have persons outright, I mean, and blatantly revengeful and what you call vindictive and dogmatic, everything like that. Morning, Mr. Ashby. You understand? I mean, it's amazing to hear educated, quote-unquote, persons within our society coming down on what this government has done to accommodate the children of our country. Minister Pierre, continue on that road. Good morning and welcome.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, let me try to begin from the beginning.
Yeah, don't begin at the end.
Yes. You know, the other afternoon I sat on my bed and I couldn't resist hearing my mother's radio playing on a particular nighttime program. And I listened to two of our Grenadian citizens. What I would say, crucify an opportunity to demonstrate maturity, demonstrate political wisdom, demonstrate patriotism. You understand? And I don't want to say that I wept, you know, but what I said to myself was, here they go again.
If you cry for them. I mean, pity them.
and Brother Scott, just let me, while I understand what you mean, but, you know, just to clarify for person out there, to get on the air and, you know, the night before a national event and appeal to parents and students not to participate in a student's activity. I thought it was so distasteful, you know, and an abuse. But it demonstrated that those persons have not learned anything about March 13, 2018, nor of the previous outing and 5 years ago.
February 19th.
And irrespective of the changes made at the top, the program remain the same. And what I was about to say, brother Scott, that was not politics. Well, it was politics, but that's what I classify as bad politics. These people had an opportunity to exhibit good political wisdom, encourage the nation. Tomorrow we have an event for young students, you know, encourage the students to go, do of them best, of the best, wish them well, and as such, you say God's bidding to all parents or participants, and as such, people would see that your organization, your entity, has their interests at heart. There again, these two senior personnel was there regurgitating political garbage, excuse me, and ignorance. Our country, in order to go forward, it's something that is so vital to the development of our country. It's our people pulling together. National unity is paramount. And that was an excellent occasion for that organization to demonstrate they have the interests of this country at heart. Let me repeat that. At heart. Yep. H-E-A-R-T.
All right.
In their heart.
In their heart.
Their heart.
Some of them don't have.
And just let me elaborate a little on that unity thing. It's very important. There's things that this country needs. The image they continue to project, because it's of concern to me, Brother Scott. I think they control, to me, most of the IT, the internet thing, and they have continued to project a very negative picture of our country. They can do better than that, and our people have continued to prove them wrong. The people have continued to show them what they say about us is not what we are, is not who we are, is not how we are. They still don't get a message. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Doc. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. 4407377
and 347-329-3101.
And we have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Mr. Scott and Mr. Romain.
Yes, good morning, my dear.
To follow up on what the caller just said about the sport, in relation to what was said. I also heard that morning that a caller called in and she said to the host of the program that she has 3 ladies that is employed with her. And she told the lady if she ever sent if they send any of their kids in that sport, she will be deducting from their salary, just as how the government deducted the teacher's salary. I mean, come on. When I heard that, I was like, I was dumbstruck, because I was like, for real?
Mm-hmm, for real.
You are going to do something like that? I mean, I don't understand. That is what Grenada comes to.
My dear.
That is what we come to.
My dear, if I had heard that.
This is about the kids. This is not about, NDC and NMP. Come on. What does the parents of the children who is employed under that person have to do with anything that is going on between the government and the union? What does the kids have to do with that? They are there for kids, not for the government, or for NNP or NDC, I don't know. Something is really, really wrong with us in Grenada. We really need to start taking a really, real close look at ourselves, the thing that we have to be injecting into our kids. This is sickening now, Yeah. So, and the host, to me, he agreed with what the person said, and I was like, where do we go? Where are we going in this country? This is about the kids. This is about our kids. This is a day. I say to myself, okay, you know what? They're not having intercall. They're having a day for the kids. Let the kids go and enjoy the day. But instead of that, they're encouraging the children not to go. And you saying, you're not ashamed to come on the radio and say, oh, I told my 3 employees if they send the kids, I will be deducting the day pay. Does that make any sense? What does that have to do with the children? Why get the kids involved in in the affairs of what is going on? That have nothing to do with them.
Vindictiveness.
That's just high class wickedness. To me, that's just high class wickedness. We shouldn't be involving our kids in what is going on in big people affairs. This is what we're teaching our children. If me and my husband have something, you know what? The kids should be involved in it too. This is between the government and the unions. Let the kids, the government, do something that the kids should go out and enjoy themselves. Let the kids be kids. Let children be children. When this is over, when they leave school, they don't have that. Most of them don't have that in their life anymore. That's it for some of them.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports, they have to go and watch other children now run. You understand? Because they will be adults. So, in light of our going on, let kids be kids. You know, and take the politics out of, you know, to me, in Grenada right now, everything is politics. Your bounce your toe is politics. You know?
All right.
It's all about kit and kit and kit and kit and kit and kit. I mean, come on, this needs to stop. They need to stop that. Some of us friends really need to sit back and take, you know, a look at ourselves and the things that we come on radio and say. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, have a good day.
Okay, my dear, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some people hotting up the overseas line. Yeah, Olive, go ahead, call back now.
Yeah,
call back now. Sorry.
It's amazing.
When people are on the floor, you have to leave them to the floor.
Yeah, it's amazing to the kind of negatives.
That statement was made. Listen, the people who are working with that individual, if I had known that, I would have personally, me, Sheldon Scott, would have contacted you and made sure that your children go, that I take pictures and bring it to your workplace and dare that person to take out of your salary or to fire you or do anything. Because I personally would have made sure that you had legal representation. Did I pay you more than the takeout? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend. Hey,
man, I just was listening. I don't want to say anything. But Devon, you know what? You see why we running? We don't walk out, you know. We run. I tell you, Mr. Killer come out to the right tune.
We run with it.
You just have to pick up, whoever pick up a piece of paper, they have to pick up and they just run.
And just run. They ain't wait now. We wait at all.
No, we have to run. Why you think Torah was to run? I think, why you think the Dr. Thomas had us to run and others? Yeah. Sometimes I hear Mr. Gilbert speak. I grab my paper and run, you know. I don't want to hear nobody else. When I hear Joe Gilbert start to talk, I say, this man know what he's saying. You know? And he still up inside there with so much hate. Just remember the revolution, Devon. How the revolution ended. People with not love, you know. Hate.
Hatred.
Hate. They want to damage this country so bad. And when you speak out, you know what they say, actually revolution, whose side you on? Yeah. It's not about side. The same thing today. It's not about side. What is best for the Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique? What is best for the country? That is what best for you, Devon, or Sheldon, or anybody. What is best for the country?
Yeah.
So don't deny the children, man. Don't do it.
Don't worry, man.
They don't have a heart, man.
They
need to call them in the sea, not NDC. In the sea. Just as how they say they throw Dr. Mitchell in the sea, they need to go in the sea and come out fresh.
They didn't realize he could have swim.
No, they didn't know Jonah could have swim. Me and all this to say, Jonah gone. And one day Jonah just go and lie with the boys and say, well, I hear, you know. What Doc say? Are they come and throw what? Is one trying to throw what for me now? Are they trying to throw what for me or what? You know what I mean? That is how it goes. The man go and reborn. He apologize for whatever he think he had done wrong. And he pick up the phone. And he call. We didn't call him. He pick up the phone and he called the man.
How many political leaders?
I cannot do this alone.
How many political leaders would do something like that?
Alone. When he look at the youth, tears come out in his eyes. And we must remember that. And he's the best thing we ever have at this time. I don't know what coming later. But I could tell you at this time, that's why God have him so fit. So fit when you see the man, you think he's 16 again. Anyhow, guys, you guys have a good day and you're having a great program today.
All right, thank you.
One love. You must have love, Devon. If you don't have love, you could never give it. You know what I mean? And if you don't have children, you don't know how to children because you never had. Have a good day.
Take care, my friend.
And I think I'm hearing a beep on the overseas line, so let me go back to the overseas. Oh, no, like they hang up. Yeah, like they hang up. I'm waiting. Let me see. Yeah, again the overseas line a preference today. Again the overseas line preference. Because the overseas people say that, oh, we ain't getting them chance to call.
Yeah, we ain't getting them chance.
But Devon, and let's say this now to all the parents out there, because what they say, when your neighbor house on fire with your own,
with yours.
They say a ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Right, nice. You know the next thing they're going after is graduations, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the next thing they're going to go after, the graduations. Parents, step in.
Yes,
or your child might very well leave school without a graduation or a graduation ball.
Be on your game.
The teachers are under no obligation. Under no obligation as far as they are concerned. They are under no obligation to have graduation ball. So the nighttime activity that the teachers just leave and go and organize, as far as they're concerned, they have no obligation. You know that's what they're coming with. Let's not wait until the last minute when they come and tell your children that they're not having any ball. We know that that is where they're going. Let us as parents start to organize. I have no children graduating right now.
Prepare.
Yeah? But you know as parents that your children are going to graduate. What is stopping you from taking over and organizing the ball for yourself?
Yeah.
Because you don't want your children leave school and I never get a graduation ball because of XYZ. The graduation is within school time. So that one you could get away with. Possibly, but I would still become involved in making sure it happens as well.
Exactly.
They get the sashes and all the other stuff. But we know that is a possibility. Take in front.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, A.
Let me see if my voice correct.
AC.
Yes, it's the same one. It's the same one. So, congratulations to the Ministry of Education on a successful secondary school games. In spite of all that has been tried and all that has been said, from all indications, the games were very successful, much to the disappointment of certain people.
Mm-hmm.
We continue to take this thing very lightly when the future of our country is being played with. And you know, the strange thing is, those playing politics with it, they're not politicians, you know. They're political wannabes. But they're using the children as pawns in their games. And it seems that people are so blinded by misinformation, and they're not taking the time to remember, and they continue to say this and that and the other. Now, I have a problem if I work and I didn't get paid. And I have a problem if my salary is being docked because of the actions of others. However, from what I know and what I remember, a principal is supposed to be the manager of the school. And I don't know if my labor relations different, but managers are not supposed to strike. So if you want to hold the government ransom for the money that was not paid to you, why aren't you speaking to your principal, who are supposed to give the names of those who attended school? Be that as it may, people are crying for gratuity that they're not even going to get. Some of them. And yet they turn this thing into a political football that is continuing to harass and impede the progress of our children. Now, a lot of people running their mouth about, oh, pay them the money, pay them the money. That's all well and good. We could talk about pay money, but what about the future of our country? Do we want to have an ignorant generation coming up? Or a generation that has lost all hopes in the leaders of our country? Because it's not only political leadership Grenada has. You have education leaders, you have religious leaders, you have societal leaders. And nobody seems to see that as a critical factor in our development. When you use the children and you try to put them this and this side and this and that side, we have a problem. I keep saying those who agitating and those who stoking and those who juking things, they crying wolf. When the wolf come, I hope they would be able to deal with it. Because the road, the upward mobility of our country, the upward mobility that this country has taken, cannot be stopped at this time. if we are not preparing our children, if we are not separating politics from our way of life, we are in a bad way. Parents, it's time you start talking. There's supposed to be parent-teachers association. There's supposed to be a lot of people who say they love children. I'm not hearing them making any talk. The government, the Ministry of Education, has to set the ambience within which to work. If the Ministry of Education has to turn around and organize school games, they can't strike because it's for the country. We have to be careful about the actions we continue to take. And it seems that we are forgetting that those making noise were given the opportunity in 2008. They made so much noise, they made so much talk that they could do it better. They were given the opportunity in 2008. By 2010, they were a disheveled bunch. Everybody peeking at each other and pointing fingers and ducking. Scandal after scandal, resignation after resignation. Cover up after cover up. Junior minister appointed, telling the Prime Minister to shut up. We keep forgetting those things. And the other thing that Grenadians need to understand is there is no opposition. The Constitution of Grenada does not recognize political parties. The Constitution of Grenada does not recognize political parties. Eric Gary brought in political parties in the 50s to advance his move. However, when the Constitution was written, it does not. Anybody could become the Prime Minister. There is nobody from NDC voted into Parliament. Opposition in Grenada's context, it is about who is in Parliament. So NDC is not no opposition. They are just like MBPM and PLM and all the others, fringe political organizations. They're not even a fully functioning political party. So there is no opposition party in Grenada. And the strength of your organization is your ability to keep your members and move on. When you have a plethora of your membership resigning from positions or taking back seat, you should know that all is lost. I just hope Grenadians understand this, because the time is going to come when you're going to get the opportunity again. Or God going to bless us and cost you and put them back in power again. And all you have to wait till the 15th of the next month to get the pay that you had to get last month. And you're always talking about do it better. Nobody has been able to do it better since the NNP. I say it again, nobody has been able to do it better since the NNP. When Ivan liquidated Grenada, liquored Grenada, in 2004, in 3 years' time, 2007, Grenada was able to host Group 8 matches in the Cricket World Cup, showing the resilience and the strength and the foresight of the government of the day, which was the NNP. We keep playing games, and we keep letting little wash your foot and come teeth we head. And we're not taking time to relax and go back and research. I just hope that when it turns around the next time, or you will be able to shut all your mouth and don't cry. Gentlemen, have a good day. I just thought I would talk a little politics. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the woman in Barbados, but let's leave that for now. Have a good day.
Hey, where you going? Hey, what happened? You're rushing to go somewhere. Hello?
Yeah, well, no, it's just that.
No, the river's there. No, the river's ain't leaving. They can't get up and walk out the apartment. Talk, man.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that one. But and if the minister say, in my opinion, this is how I see the SBA, who can say she's wrong? But even Began person, wherever she is, had to speak to the minister and was genuine about her concern about what was said. She was not going to go on radio and say it. And how is it the radio knew was that person to call to say it?
Exactly.
You see, Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. We had to pay attention to what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We had to pay attention to what is happening. All these clowns, right? They're circling like vultures because things are happening in Grenada, and they want to say they do things for Grenada. But all they did was put us on a standstill for 4.5 years, right? We had to restart the engine of development in Grenada again. But no, all of a sudden. So, poor Emlyn Pierre now say something that might not be as accurate as they would like it. And they want to kill her. I keep wondering, what is it Emlyn do, the boy, how do you call the boy?
Hello?
Well, you know your name. That he keep coming. But my sources tell me they're going to give me the full, how will I say it, Sheldon, the full appareil?
Yeah, the full lacquer, yeah.
Right, so when I find out, we're going to put him on blast. Because it's something. I mean, I have my theories, but what I'm saying is, if I sit here and I say, no, the minister said something that is not accurate, I'll call the minister and say, hey, from my position, this is what it is. But perhaps it's on radio. Everybody likes to go on radio. You know what I mean? So they couldn't get her down for staging the games, although they run them out and they say blah, blah, blah. So they had to say, oh, she don't know what she's doing and she don't know what she's saying. But please remember that a minister is just the policy director in the ministry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A political representative is the policy director. The ministry is led by the permanent secretary and all the technocrats within that said ministry. So if the minister said something out of turn or inaccurate, she was given inaccurate information.
Well, I could say, Alan, from my personal experience, that does happen. Whatever information you receive is not you as the minister go into schools or go into different places and check. You are given the information by the technocrats within the ministry. And you have to be able to trust the information you receive from the technocrats.
That's right.
The minister just get up and
when
say something.
They keep beating down her door, I just hope they know she's from Butch Grove. She have a lot of figure dashing in her. She background. She background. I hope they understand this thing,
Oh, Lord.
This morning I just in a mood to politics because I find we ain't saying what we're supposed to say, and I can't say what I want to say on the radio. You know what I mean? What I want to say, I can't say it. But I'm saying, and we have to, and I say we, NMP people, yes, we have to protect our ministers and our candidates. We have to surround our parliamentary representatives and make sure we know the facts and we know we're not afraid to beat them with it. Because in 2008, between 2008 and 2011, I beat them up so bad. There's a special meeting on what to do with me. Right? Not so Romain. Romain was there.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear what you said, sir.
This is a special meeting to find out how to deal with him.
Right? And that is what we have to do. We have to shut them up with facts. Anytime they open their lying mouth, we shut them up with facts. And we have to continue doing this because, you see, from outside looking in, when you see what is happening in Grenada, when you hear Grenadians longing to go home now, planning to come back home now because they want to be part of the action,
exactly.
You know something good is happening.
Yep.
Right? And we can't allow people who don't understand what this development means for our future, what this development means for our children, and they're nitpicking every little thing, everything. Right? We have to be able to protect our parliamentary representatives.
Yep.
Because if we say we are NMP, You have to remember the NMP song. You can count on me. Working for my party, faithful I will be. I will fight with all my might. Working for the NMP. We have to. Right? And we have to shut them up completely. We have to remind them that between 2008 and 2013, they did nothing for the development of Grenada. 4.5 years, they keep blaming Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell left in 2008. But when they're leaving, oh yes, Keith Mitchell do this, oh yes, Keith Mitchell do that. And it's time that we stop them. We can't be timid in protecting our parliamentary representatives.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be timid in pushing forward the agenda of the government as it relates to the development of Grenada. We have to make sure that we rededicate ourselves to this. Because you see the nonsense they keep pushing, and they're looking for toeholds and little strongholds and little things that they could try and build this thing they're pushing. The whole concerted effort that this discontent that they pushing, and they're all talking, oh, Keith Mitchell don't like teachers, don't like teachers. Who didn't used to pay the teachers?
Nazim Bok.
Right?
Well,
who didn't used to pay the public servants?
My brother.
Police couldn't get paid. Right? We have to remind them of those things. And we have to stand up for our parliamentary representatives.
And we're going to continue
right? So when they attacked Emlyn, we had to gather around Emlyn.
Touch one, touch all. Simple. Touch
that
one.
Is it.
Touch all. That's how to be the attitude.
You know what I mean? That is it. You know, we are one party. So it means that when somebody gets blows unfairly, we have to rally around that person.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that.
My brother, we're nearly out of time.
Huh?
We're nearly out of time. But make sure and call us back during the week now, man.
Huh?
Make sure and call us back during the week once time allows.
Yeah, I was trying to get here early, you know, but I made a few stops.
Okay.
You know, I want to take care of some things for the big man, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, I know it go.
Yeah, so that had me running this morning. But I had to call and talk politics this morning.
All right. Thank you very much, Alan.
Later.
All right, brother.
All right, AC.
Folks, that's the voice you used to be hearing around this time during the opposition time. Right through. Yeah. AC Major himself, Alan Campbell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're nearly out of time. But quickly on that one you raised, though, about the lady from Barbados that called CSME.
Yeah.
The thing is, they have to understand the basic thing in relation to this is simple. The laws that exist in Barbados are different to the laws that exist in Grenada. What may be the situation for teachers under their contract and arrangement with the Bajan government, under the laws of Barbados, under the Education Act of Barbados, is not the same thing that is involved in Grenada. So in other words, she damn fast. And I make no apologies for it.
Out of place too.
She damn fast.
But how she get in that mix, by the way?
Well, GBN had to say either if she called them or them call she. And if them call she, who tell them to call she?
So somebody might tell them to call she and set up she to answer the question like that, well, just to make our minister look bad. She out of place.
Because she calls as though she's some expert. Number one, does that individual have a copy or ever read the Education Act of Grenada? Is she aware of the various agreements and arrangements between the government of Grenada and the Grenada Union of Teachers? Does she know the law of Grenada? Does she know the Constitution of Grenada to become involved in this particular issue? I have no problem with someone from another island speaking on an issue here in Grenada that is along the lines of something that they understand. So if you understand what you're talking about, it's one thing. But to come out here with your fast self and attack our minister here and some of us in our island, giving the woman chorus on top of that, something had to be wrong with us.
You know, Yagu train in Barbados.
And you know what? Is this yeah, it's a Gugu tree there?
Well, she don't know not to climb up a Gugu tree.
Well, she climbed the wrong one. And the thing is this, you know. Here the hypocrisy in the people, eh? The same people, the very same people, was upset when Mia Motley came to Grenada to speak on the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Yeah.
Mia Motley, you know, a woman with Grenadian ancestry from right there in St. Paul's. The Prime Minister of Barbados spoke on an issue which she understands, which she as a Prime Minister and even as a former government minister and opposition leader and opposition member saw in Barbados and was part of the process of instituting the Caribbean Court of Justice, therefore was very knowledgeable on the issue and could have and did speak on the issue here in Grenada and inform Grenadians about the Caribbean Court of Justice and the positives about it, and when they asked the questions, whatever negatives there were. These same people now who praising this lady from Barbados that came and speak and tried to embarrass the minister here are the same ones that jump on the bandwagon and start to attack Mia Motley. All you hypocrite. They always, they're hypocrite. I have nothing against the lady's nationality, but I want to know if she understands the issue that she's speaking about. The Education Act of Grenada is not the Education Act of Barbados. It's not the Education Act of Trinidad. So you have to be clear when you're speaking. But bottom line, parents, get ready for it because we know it's graduation they're going at next.
We need to take control.
So all you take control. Take control of all your children's schools. Take control of the schools.
Yes.
The graduation coming up, we know is that they're going after next. We ain't asking you, we telling you. They're going after the children graduation next. You might very well find that if you're lackadaisy and you don't do what needs to be done, the school term will end, your child will just come home and start our next school in September with no graduation. So no little dress up, no little something. I mean, some parents wouldn't mind because they would say, boy, I'd rather spend that money, boy. But think about the children and how they enjoy that, the memories that they get from that for the rest of their life. Everybody could remember the graduation. Yeah? Both the graduation ceremony and the graduation ball. Parents, pick up the slack. The teacher's going to tell you that they're under no obligation to do that, to organize for it, to get the funds together for the food and drinks and whatever else has to be organized there. They're going to tell you that. Yeah? So from now, start putting, even before the exams are finished, start putting things in place so that you, the Parents Association in every school, can take over and properly execute this activity, the graduation in the schools, with or without the help of the school authorities. They can't stop you from using the school. They can't stop you from bringing your child there to graduate. They can't stop you from anything. Yeah? The most they could do is they could refuse to provide the information for the valedictorian and the people who win prizes in different areas, and so that's the most they can do. But you can take over the process totally. There's nothing in the law to stop you from doing that. Take over the graduation at the schools. I'm telling you, because we know that's the next one they're coming at. They failed at the sports, they're going to come at the graduation.
I'm wondering what they're trying to do now. If someone had did that to them when they had the opportunity to do their CXCs and the SBAs and so. Think about it.
Care about that? Think about that.
Think about it.
Folks, that's all the time we have for today. It's a hard talk. We're thankful for all of you that have been able to call, listen, and interact with us today. Those of you online on www.hardtalkgrenada.com, Hard Talk Grenada live on Facebook, and Hard Talk Grenada on YouTube. Those of you listening via 97.5, 89.5, Sister Isle FM, and in Brooklyn, our good friend Wade with Noise Radio. We'd like to thank each and every one of you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Let's play a song for them, man. Let's play a song for them.
This is PM. It's the time. It's the 3rd annual Grenada Invitational. World-class athletes, world-class performances, and a world-class facility. Come see Olympians Andre DeGrasse, Shellyan, Fraser Price, Braylon Toplin, Asafa Powell, Lyndon Victor, and the cast of superstars at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Tickets are now on sale at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Maxis Bar, and Venus. Saturday, April 13th. Grenada Invitational. See you there.
McIntyre, top of the screen in the colors of Grenada with a bit of a lead.
Eastern Zone wins inaugural secondary school games. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, April 5th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Eastern Zone are the winners of the inaugural National Secondary School Games, which saw new records being established at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Friday. The Eastern Zone also captured the final two races, the girls and boys 4x400 meter relays open. We have a recap from reporter Sherry Ann Noel, who spent the day interviewing many of the athletes.
There were 4 zones, 60 events, and at the end we had a winner. The inaugural winner of the 2019 National Secondary School Games is the athletes that form the Eastern Zone, the schools of St. David's Catholic Secondary, St. Joseph's Convent, St. Andrew, the Grenville Secondary School, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School, and Grenada Christian Academy. Now, we had a number of splendid performances both on the track and on the field. We had all who won actually had new records. We had students who said many thanks to the government for giving them the opportunity, as it was their last time to perform on the tracks in their schools, to represent their schools. We had the individual champs in the under 15th. We had Shanti Augustine from the Southern Zone. She had 12 points. We also had in the under 15 boys, we had Tejan Peter King, also of the Southern Zone, with 18 points. Under 17 girls went to Kishana Phillip of Southern Zone, and the under 17 boys, Jadon Tika of the Northern Zone. The under 21 girl went to Johnny Thomas of the Eastern Zone with 24 points. The under 21 boy was Jared Sylvester with 14 points. And the overall champs for the girls was Johnny Thomas and Tejan Peter King for the boys. It was indeed a day of keen rivalry. The athletes competed both on the field and the tracks, and they are looking forward to see if their records will be broken when there is a National Secondary School Games in 2020. Hats off to the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports, who collaborated to ensure that the students got the opportunity to exhibit their talents here on the tracks.
During the official opening ceremony, Education Minister the Honorable Emmeline Pear said the inaugural event bears testimony of government's commitment to the development of the nation's athletes. Some of the athletes who competed before an impressive crowd thanked the government for the opportunity that the Games provided.
We believe as a government that every child deserves every possible opportunity to grow, every possible opportunity to succeed. And that is the only reason that we took that very bold decision to hold these games. We all believe in the all-round development of children. We believe in the opportunity for children to learn, for students to learn, and that is exactly why we are here today. Because we believe that the opportunities that they receive and those who received in the past, we can speak today about those who have excelled in terms of their recognition internationally and how they were responsible and how they were able to be good ambassadors promoting our country regionally and internationally. But we can also speak today about those in the past who never thought that they would ever have an opportunity to further their education. And it was sports in many cases that gave so many persons, including many of our physical education teachers, many of our coaches, that opportunity today to have a career that they are proud of, that they are passionate about. And so we don't take for granted, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunities that we can provide to our students.
Organizers say this will not be a one-off meet, and they're hoping to do it again next year. As mentioned, athletes from the Eastern Zone won the final two races, the girls and boys 4x400 meter open. Let's look back at the action.
It's the penultimate event. They're on the mark.
And they're off. It's a smooth, fast start there from the athletes. All getting off to a good start, but it's the Eastern Zone stamping the early dominance on this event, opening up a sizable lead at the moment, just about 15 meters, and it continues to grow. Eastern Zone there out front, followed by the Southern Zone as they head down the backstretch. The Northern Zone and the Western Zone are in the mix, but with just about 220 meters to go in the first lap, it is the Eastern Zone. They continue to dominate this event, and they are setting their intentions clear that yes, they have won the championship, but they want to do so in style by winning the 4x400 meters girls. Here comes Jida Harry from the Southern Zone, looking to close the gap on the first leg. She is doing so successfully, but Eastern Zone, the athlete from the Eastern Zone, she will hand over first, followed by the athlete from the Southern Zone.
The Eastern Zone off to a great start here, as they have maybe a 20-meter lead over the Southern Zone, and then we have the Northern Zone and Western Zone. But there goes the Eastern Zone. It's going to be a tremendous effort here by the Southern Zone to close that gap on the Eastern Zone. And I'm sure Janaya Thomas is somewhere in the mix here to anchor it home for the Eastern Zone. It's going to be difficult here for the Southern Zone. I make it about 80 meters is the lead that the Eastern Zone is enjoying over the Southern Zone. What a lead, what a performance here already on the second leg of the penultimate event, the 4x400 meters open for girls. The Eastern Zone, as we see an interesting development for second position now, as we see the athlete out of the Northern Zone was catching up on the athlete from the Southern Zone, but she's outwinded now. The Southern Zone making a run back, but it's going to be difficult for her to catch up with the athlete from the Eastern Zone. The Eastern Zone is going to hand over first, and there they go.
And it's Eastern Zone continuing to maintain the lead of just about 60 meters or so. The second handover about to be completed. Northern Zone, Western Zone, but out front is the Eastern Zone, just about 60 meters as she heads down the back straight on the third lap. The Eastern Zone continues to lead in the final female event here at the National Secondary School Games for 2019. It is the Eastern Zone maintaining that lead. It continues to grow, just about 60 or so meters to go, with 150 meters left before the third and final baton exchange. The Eastern Zone continues to extend and open out the lead. Strong performances there from the athlete from the Eastern Zone, and she is motoring down the home straight to hand over the baton for the third time as they seek gold in the final female event.
Well, that's the final handover, and the Eastern Zone with a very, very commanding lead. It looks here like Janaya Thomas. Is it Janaya Thomas? But whoever it is, it's going to be tough to catch up with them. The Eastern Zone with a commanding lead here in the final event for the girls. She can actually coast home from here on. It's a jog in the park for her. She's not challenged by any stretch. What a team effort by the Eastern Zone. A good way for the girls to close the curtain on the inaugural secondary school games. That's the final event for the girls. And the Eastern Zone has a commanding lead here. There's no need for she to exert to the fullest extent, but I'm sure she'd want to return a good time for her team, and she would give it all towards the finish line. As she enters into the home straight and heading towards the finish line, the Eastern Zone it is. The Eastern Zone looking good. The race is actually for second and third, as there's an interesting development there, but the Eastern Zone wins it now. Let's see what's happening for second and third, as it's going to be a fight between the Southern Zone and the Northern Zone, but the Southern Zone is in second. The Southern Zone will pick up the silver medal, and the Northern Zone will pick up the bronze. The Western Zone will have to settle for the fourth position.
And it's the start of the event. Very good start there. The athlete from the Northern Zone, he's out quickly. So too is the athlete from the Eastern Zone, who actually settles now in front of the pack, followed by the athlete from Southern Zone and Northern Zone in the back a bit boxed out by the two athletes in front of him, but it's the eastern zone, southern zone, western zone. The athlete from the northern zone falling back a bit, but it continues to be a dominant performance from the athletes from the eastern side of the island. They have the early lead with just about 150 meters left in the first exchange, and they lead by just about 20 or so meters. Eastern zone, southern zone, western zone, and the northern zone, but it is continuing to be a blue afternoon, a royal blue afternoon here at the National Stadium. They have opened up a lead of just about 30 meters or so over northern zone. The first exchange, northern eastern zone.
The eastern zone is off in a flash. The first handover, and they're trailed by the northern zone. The southern zone is actually in fourth position at the moment. Let's see what's going to happen here. The northern zone looking very comfortable. Sorry, the eastern zone looking very comfortable going down the back straight. The eastern zone it is. And for the sake of the fans, we're hoping that it can be a much closer encounter. Maybe 80 meters lead here, but look at the second, third, and fourth. They bunch closely together here. The southern zone is making a comeback, but look at the lead that has been established by the eastern zone. It's going to be difficult to catch them, but look at the southern zone, the western zone. That looks like Neil Peters there for the western zone, but the eastern zone with a commanding lead here as they make the second and over. The eastern zone in the lead.
The eastern zone, they lead about 60 meters or so, but the excitement is really for second and third and fourth in this event. The second is second and over second, the northern zone. The western zone, the northern zone in the mix also to the southern zone. But out front, continuing their dominant performances in the 4x400 meters. The boys, they continue to extend their lead. The eastern zone boys, they are leading with just about 600 meters left in the event. A lead of just about 50 meters or so. Continues to hold on. Here comes the athletes from the northern zone. Look at the athlete from the northern zone, turns on the afterburners, looking to close down the gap. It is getting exciting. It is certainly getting exciting. And the lead almost evaporates. The athlete from the northern zone, he is closing the gap, clawing away. He's just about passes him and hands over first. The northern zone, they are in the lead ahead in the final lap.
What a run by Deontay Williams for the northern zone. The northern zone has taken over the lead, but the eastern zone is not going to give up just like that. It's going to be a battle for the finals. Is this another Junior Charles moment? It was right around this point when he went past Jeffrey. Is the athlete from the northern zone going to catch up with him? The eastern zone has now moved into the lead, trailed by the northern zone. And then there is the western zone. What is going to happen? Is there any fight left in the tank here? Is there a fight by the northern zone? The eastern zone back in the lead and powering away. He looks good going into the home straight. Is he going to catch him? A fight back here by the northern zone. East zone, northern zone, east zone, northern zone. Who is it going to be? Looks like the eastern zone. What a run back here. But we cannot discredit the run by Deontay Williams on the third leg for the northern zone. What a fit and finish to this game.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Big business don't participate.
Continuing the news, the impact of climate change on the economic, infrastructural and sustainable development of Grenada was the focus of the 150th meeting of the Sustainable Development Council on Friday. The meeting, which was held at the Public Workers Union Conference Room, focused on sustainable development and climate change, infrastructure and energy, health and disaster management. The Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister for Infrastructure Development, Public Utilities, Energy, Transport and Implementation, whose focus was on sustainable development and infrastructure and energy, said development must be looked at in a different light as a result of climate change. He used the example of construction, saying that the negative impact of climate change must be taken into consideration.
The infrastructure component of sustainable development is therefore critical because it falls to two things. Infrastructure, the most important one, maybe the soft one, the education, and the people themselves getting involved and knowledgeable. But the infrastructural component always follow, whether it's a policy, whether it's a law, we must build. And we in the Ministry of Infrastructure, we are preparing ourselves for this. We are not there yet, but we are getting there. And implementation is a significant component of our ministry. So when we're implementing now, we do not have to say, well, is this school being built on time and within cost? We have to go with a fine-tuned code and look at what is there. Where are the mitigation efforts within this building?
Health Minister, the Honourable Nicholas Steele, who addressed the subject of sustainable development and health, says we must take seriously the effects of climate change on the sector.
We have seen Zika and chikungunya come through, and dengue, the warning for this year. Not a new strain, but a previously non-existing or a strain of dengue that we haven't seen for decades in this region. Question was asked about rat infestation as well. What is happening is that when I was growing up, I knew that there was a definite rainy season and dry season. And you could literally mark that on Corpus Christi, it would be raining, or on April, it will be raining by the middle of April or so. These periods are extending. The hurricane season is extending, and as such, what we have happening is our rainy season is coinciding with our tourism season, when people travel. And as such, mosquito-borne diseases are spreading because it's coinciding, not just here, but in southern Europe, Mediterranean area, so it's crossing from Africa over. So we have to build and strengthen health resources.
The other presenter was Senator Simon Steele, Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment, Forestry, Fisheries, Disaster Management and Information. He says climate change undermines our ability to achieve sustainable development and touches every aspect of our economic development.
When we look at it within the broad areas, economically, and some of the action that government has taken to build greater resilience, it's not just from a physical perspective. Resilience speaks to economic resilience. It speaks to social resilience. It speaks to environmental resilience. So we have to look at this thing holistically. And some of the actions that government has taken, whether it is through the homegrown structural adjustment program and building fiscal resilience. So whether that is through the introduction of the fiscal responsibility laws, debt management laws, how to put Grenada on a sustainable path of fiscal responsibility, which builds that economic resilience. Whether it is the area of climate financing, again, a core mandate of the Ministry of Climate Finance, together with the Ministry of Finance, together with Foreign Affairs, together with the Ministry of Implementation, is to see how we can access as much of the climate financing that is available, the international resources that are available.
The Parliamentary Elections Office says the addendum to the current list of electors as at March 31st, 2019 is published for inspection, the raising of claims, objections and revision. The office says this process runs for 7 days from April 8th to 15th, 2019. The addendum can be found in each constituency at post offices, police stations, medical stations, parliamentary elections constituency offices and other public places. The closing date for submission of information to the registration officer in connection with any claim for inclusion in the addendum or objection to any name which should not be included in the addendum is April 15, 2019. The Parliamentary Elections Office adds that everyone, and particularly those who registered during the quarter January to March 2019, is advised to inspect the addendum to ensure that his or her name is properly included. The addendum should also be checked to establish whether there is any name included in it that should not be there. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Saturday, April 13th is the date. 4 p.m. is the time. It's the 3rd annual Grenada Invitational. World-class athletes, world-class performances, and a world-class facility. Come see Olympians Andre DeGrasse, Sheldon Fraser Price, Braylon Toplin, Asafa Powell, Lyndon Victor, and the cast of superstars at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Tickets are now on sale at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Maxis Bar, and Venus. Saturday, April 13th. Grenada Invitational. See you there.
McIntyre, top of the screen in the colors of Grenada with a bit of a lead.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.